A few moments, it became evident that John wasn't coming right back. The dust that the retreating convoy was raising disappeared over the horizon in reversal of how Mark had seen it approach. He heard Gunny's scratchy voice on the radio. "Mark, are they gone?" "Yeah, Gunny, I think so." "What went wrong?" Mark gave a brief synopsis of what had happened with the woman from the ranch and how it had tipped the MZBs off. "Damn," the old Marine growled. "I never thought about that." "None of us did." "Well, you know what they say about hindsight. All right, I'm going to send someone up to relieve you. Come find me when they get here." "There," Gunny instructed. "Okay." Mark heard the old man radio for the medical team to come look after the wounded. A few minutes later, Charlie Henderson came up the stairs to take Mark's place. The karate man made his way out into the courtyard. The initial report on casualties was 5 dead and 7 wounded, 3 of them seriously. Gunny was having the wounded put into the mess hall when the medical team arrived. 2 of the seriously injured were beyond the help of the team, but it looked like one had a fighting chance. Lisa continued to watch over her. Doc Vasquez was doing what he could to make the other 2 as comfortable as possible, while the rest of the team turned their attention to the less critical patients. Mark was depressed they hadn't gotten John. He was equally saddened by the losses they'd taken. Most of the casualties were the men and women who'd been in the courtyard. The only person Mark knew well was Jose Santana. He lived on a lot behind Mark's, and his grandson, Roman, had been on Mark's 3-man observation team. Mark dreaded the thought of having to go back to Silver Hills and tell Jose's family. Mark found Gunny, and the old man called his squad leaders together. He filled them in on what had happened. "We've got several things to figure out," the old man said. "First, what are we going to do with the prisoners we got? Next, Lisa tells me none of the women want to stay here. What are we going to do with them, and what do we do with the ranch?" Jim started to say something, but Gunny held up his hand. "The biggest thing we got to figure out is what we think John's going to do, and what do we do about him." "What do you think he'll do, Gunny?" Mark asked. "I think he'll go somewhere to regroup, maybe to the place he just hit. Then I think he'll do one of 2 things. He'll set up a new base, forget about this place, and continue to do what he was doing, or he'll come back here and try to retake the ranch."